everyone. How are you all? I hope you all are good, doing very well. So, students, today we are going to start a new chapter, and the chapter name is Where Does Food Come From? Don't you think that it is going to be a very interesting chapter for us? Like, we are going to study about like from where the food is coming exactly, because we know this thing that the food is one of the essential thing for living beings. I'm not talking about only human beings, because animals and plants, they also require food. Exactly, because if food is not there, so that means we are not getting energy to do anything. So that's how student food is important for each and every one. And in this chapter we are going to see that from where the food is come and how, like if I talk about this particular session, that what we are going to study, so we are going to study about different type of organism we are having. Okay, so we'll see that part, that how it is going to be start now. But starting with the session, so I would like to introduce myself. So my name is Arushi Sharma, and I'm going to teach you this chapter, that is the where does food come from. Okay, so starting with the chapter, and we'll see that what are the topics we are going to cover today. So students, you can see here that we are going to see these topics, that is the grouping of organisms on basis of their food habit, like how their food habits are there, like whether they are producing their own food, or they or the organisms depending on the another organisms for their food. So that's how we are going to see the types of organisms, like on the basis of their food habits. Okay, so that is the autotrophs and heterotrophs. Then we'll see scavengers and decomposers. I hope you have heard about decomposers, scavengers, that if you know that the decomposers, if we talk about decomposers like earthworm, if you have heard this thing that the earthworm are the friends of farmers. Why? Because what happens, student, that they, like if I give you very brief about it, like a very small thing I want to tell you here, that they break down the substances, and because of that, somewhere the fertility of the soil increases, and farmers what they require the fertility of the soil, that it should be increased, है ना? And it's like that if someone, not exactly human being, but if someone is increasing that fertility without costing anything, so it would be a great help for them. That is why the earthworm kind of decomposer, they are, you can say, friends of farmers. Okay, because we know this thing that friends do something for us and they'll not charge anything, okay, like money or something like that. So everyone knows well. So now students, we are going to see these topics here, and then we'll see that the specialization of teeth according to food habit. We'll discuss about this thing, that how it is the teeth, like what's the specialization of the teeth means. Okay, so don't worry, you'll come to know what like about that in this session only. Then we are going to see about the food chain and the food web. Okay, then we'll see apiculture. So these are the topic, students, which we are going to cover up in today's session. So before starting, so just one question is here. Now, what the question is saying, that why tiger has long and sharp canine teeth? Like you have noticed one thing, like the tigers, they are having that big sharp teeth, and like they are very sharp, like in this kind of, if I am not wrong, exactly kind of nail or something like that, you can say. So why they're having that type of teeth? So students, if you notice that I have shown you that the topics which we are going to cover up in today's class, so these are the topics which contains the specialization of the teeth, depending upon the food habit. So you will be getting the answer of the same question in the same session only. Okay, so just starting with the topics, so I just want to make some kind of curiosity in your mind, like why the tigers are having that type of teeth, why don't we are having that type of teeth? So just see it. So starting with the very first topic of today's class, it's about grouping of organisms on basis of their food habits. Okay, students. So if you notice one thing, like in our surroundings, if we talk about living beings, so living beings are, it's not like that, that student, we are having two main category. If you see, one is plants and another one is the animals. Now you'll say, ma'am, animals, like animals, we talk about dog, cat, or something like that. So where the human beings are? See, student, it's a very basic thing. Like you can consider human beings, even though very small organisms like microorganism, and like big animals. If we talk about elephant, lion, so we all are coming under the category of animals only. It's just that we are different type of animals, so don't worry about that. But the plants, we know that plants are we are having in our surroundings. Okay, and then we are having animals. Now how we have divided them on the basis of their food habits. Fine, students, so these are the division, but how we are dividing them, so we'll see that part. How? See, students, if you notice one thing, that we have two types of things, that is the autotrophs and heterotrophs. Okay, so plants are those type of living organisms, students. If you notice that plants produce food for themselves and for us as well, like for animals, for human beings, so they are producing the food, so that's how we call them as producer, because they are producing food for us, so we call them as producer. Fine. Now if you see animals, have you ever seen that any animal producing food? Yes, we cook food for us, for like by us, by our hand only. But if we see that we are not producing anything, even though when we are doing cropping, farming or something like that, so it's the plants which are producing food. Yes, we are doing agriculture process, but we are not producing anything. So that's how, student, plants are the producers and the animals are the consumers. We are consumers. Fine. Now we'll see that what type of animals, like how many types of animals are there depending upon their food habits. So we are having three. One is herbivores, second carnivores, and third omnivores. So like carnivores, herbivores, omnivores. So what are they? Like what we can say about them? So student, yes, very first thing which we have to be clear here, that the plants are the producers. That means they are producing food for us. Consumers, who are consuming that food which is produced by the plants, okay, in any way. It's not like that in a very particular way, in any way. So that are the consumers. Now those consumers has been divided into three categories. Now what are these three categories? Herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. And I hope like you have heard about these terms like from the very starting only. So the herbivores are those type of organism, students, those survive on plants, like they just are having the habit to eat this food material which comes from the plant, like cereals, rice, or even though plants only, green grasses, so that we call as herbivores. But if we talk about carnivores, so carnivores are those type of animal, students, who depend upon the another animal. Like how they are depending on the another animal? Because they are used to eat flesh and blood, so that's how they are getting that flesh and blood from the other animals. So the organism which depends upon the other organism for their food, like the flesh and blood, so that we called as the carnivores. Now we are having, so see, like if I'll say generally, so we can say one thing, that the herbivores are kind of vegetarian and the carnivores are kind of non-vegetarian. Okay, so you'll say, ma'am, you are differentiating between vegetarian and non-vegetarian. It's not like that, students. I'm not saying that thing, but I'm just clearing the concept that herbivores, which depends upon the plant's product for their food survival, and the carnivores depends upon the flesh and blood for their food survival. Okay, now if we talk about omnivores, omnivores are those type of organism, student, you can say that they are having both options, like they can go for vegetarian and they can also go for non-vegetarian. That means, student, you can say human beings can also be the example of omnivores. How? Because some of the human beings, they like eating dal, exactly, they like eating roti, they like eating um rice and other things which are vegetarian in nature, but as well as they like eating chicken, or we can say other non-vegetarian stuff as well. So such organisms which are habitual of both type of taste, like vegetarian and non-vegetarian, that means they can eat plant product as well as the animal product, like the flesh and, not exactly flesh and blood we are eating, like we human beings, we are not eating exactly that, but we cook it properly and then we consume it. So we are depending upon the animals as well. So that's how, students, such organisms which are having the habitual of both type of circumstances, so we call them as omnivores. That means, students, we can say that the kind of organisms which are herbivores and carnivores in nature, both of the categories, so we call them as omnivores. Okay, so depending upon these food habits, student, we have divided these organisms here. Okay, now the very first thing, student, like if you notice the question which I have asked you, that why the tigers are having that sharp and canine teeth, so that's how, student, you can relate here. Like before starting that topic, you will be getting some answer here. If you notice that tiger, what he did, like for what their habit about their food, So they are requiring some flesh and blood of any other animal. Exactly. So if they're requiring that flesh and blood of any other animal, student, so they are what? They are carnivores. And if they are carnivore students, so we know this thing that the carnivores require such type of teeth so that they can easily tear out the skin of the another animal, because by hand or by simple kind of teeth we can't tear it. So that's how they require these type of teeth. Fine. So we'll be having some more like explanation, more detail about these things. But right now, maybe you are getting that answer of question. Okay. So now we have seen that on depending upon the food habit, we are having two type of organisms. One is the plants and the another one is the animals. And we have seen here that the plants are the producers and the animals are the consumers. And then animals has been divided here, that it's the herbivores, carnivores and omnivores.